Welcome to TMZ Live. There are lots of places in this world that are having really extreme weather conditions. In Southern California right now, we are having record-breaking heat, and it has caused at least one death.
Yes, death of a family's dog. And they had left this dog in the care of a training facility, but they went on a trip, and after 48 hours into their trip, they found out that their dog had passed away.
And it may well be this has something to do with the heat, although the couple, which is still abroad, they're trying to figure it out.
Right. So joining us now from Europe, where they're still on their trip, because this is, what do you do in the middle of this? Andrew and Madeline Fedek and their infant. I know you guys just had a baby a couple of months ago.
That's why we can't fly home yet, because we're just really worried. We just took 17 hours to get here, and I think it would be really difficult to turn around right away and go 17 hours the other way. So we're assessing our options, trying to get home ASAP, because we still have another one that was in this training facility. She's home safe right now with our friend, but definitely traumatized, and it seemed like she barely made it as well.
Okay, so can you guys kind of,
facility,
as far as you know, you drop the dog off at this training facility. What happens?
So we had wanted just basic leash training. We had they just pulled on the leash. They were great manner dogs and everything, and we felt like it was a good time to do it because we're going out of town, and everything we had heard was like a boarding training situation usually is more effective long term than just doing once a week or whatever. So we decided to do it. We landed on the trainer that we went with, and they
effective Yelp reviews. It seemed the sentiment was that he got the job done.
He was a quote unquote celebrity trainer. He name dropped many celebrities' dogs that he claimed to have trained to us on our consultation. He was extremely pushy with us and asked us, because he tried to sell us a more expensive package. And he said, Zendaya trusted me with her dog. Why wouldn't you?
Anthony Anderson trusted me with his dog. You need this package, which was a month long. 2 days into that month package, we dropped them off, and we got a call that Duncan, one of the friendliest dogs on the planet, again, the intention of this was just basic leash training. This is not a hostile breed. Got the news that he had passed away. When we asked him what happened,
he said,
contradicted himself
he said that
different times.
He said that the dog had been out training in the middle of the heat wave. He said that he took the dog out early. And we said, how early? Because in our mind, early is like 5 or 6 a.m. We don't walk the dogs during the day at all in the summertime. We walk them at 9 p.m. at night for this reason. And he said 9 or 10, they started training. He claims this was all under one of his employees, that he was being trained, showed signs of heat exhaustion, and was starting to pant, act lethargic, all of the typical symptoms. And then for some reason, unbeknown to us, he then decided that he was going to transfer the dogs to a completely different boarding facility on a completely different area of Los Angeles.
Without telling us.
Because he said that they had a better air-conditioned facility for them, and that he had an overflow of dogs, which he never even told us he had one other dog to train while we had left them there. He claimed he had an overflow of dogs and he was going to move them. And then supposedly by the time he arrived at that secondary location, Duncan was dead in the back seat. At which point they dropped off our other dog, apparently, and then failed to notify us for another 4 hours.
And never took him to the vet. They didn't take him to the vet until I spoke to them and said, you haven't taken him to the vet yet?
Yeah, didn't take him to the vet until we demanded
20 years of dog training experience on your website, dog trainer to the celebrities, all of this stuff. And you can't even execute basic life-saving measures on a dog?
So when you got that tragic news, obviously you're upset. You're talking to him about what happened to Duncan. What was your response then? Because I'm sure you were panicked that your other dog, Poutine, is still in his custody. What was your reaction? How did you deal with that?
The first thing we did was call friends and find the first person that we could to go and collect her. She wasn't even at his facility. She was at a boarding facility that's completely unrelated for some reason. So that's where we immediately sent a friend to go and pick her up. She was extremely distressed when our friend got there, and she said she was showing all the same signs of heat exhaustion that you would expect, panting, very lethargic. Apparently she didn't drink water for up to 3-4 hours after she got to our friend's house.
Our conclusion is the only reason she survived is because she's about 30 pounds lighter than Duncan, because Duncan's male.
Yeah.
And we think she would have passed away as well, and we would have lost 2 dogs.
Yeah.
Say what the temperature was on that day.
It was over 100.
Yeah, we're talking triple digits. So you're saying you typically
keep in
walk your
mind,
dogs.
This is dog trainer to the celebrities. They're charging you prices according to that.
So, I just want to say something. And by the way, I want to say 2 things. One is, I was working out this morning at 6 in the morning. And it was,
and it's hot.
It was, no.
It's humid also.
It was brutal.
Yeah.
It was actually brutal here. This is unlike what I've seen where I live. I mean, it was terrible. That was 6 in the morning. But the second thing is, and I don't want to say this to make you feel bad, but one of the great scams in LA.
In LA, something to the stars.
Is something to the stars.
Anytime you see blank to the stars.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And to be clear, it wasn't like, the star power element was the reason we did it. We did it quite simply.
No, but you just think, think somebody else did the research, and if all these people are in line, it's going to be, I get it. But
there's a concept of trust there. I went on Yelp. It was the top reviewed dog trainer in our area. And I said, looks good to me, 20 years of dog training. They come by, they give a walkthrough, explain everything. It all checks out. Now, what's interesting is once you start reading in between the lines, for all these great reviews about how they got their dog to properly behave and all that, there's a lot of negative reviews from even 10 years ago about my dog came back emaciated. My dog came back insanely stressed from this experience. And what it points me to,
we've since heard from people that have reached out to us that their dogs have also passed away under this person's care.
Well, look, we're so sorry this happened to you. And we really wish you the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to talk about your favorite subject.
Boobs.
I was going to say Kylie Jenner, but this is definitely not that. But yes, it's both of those things.
Oh, see what you just did?
See what I did? Kylie Jenner and her boobs. She is talking about making some changes. And remember, she very famously revealed exactly the type of surgery she had.
It became all the rage.
Yeah, and maybe that has something to do with her latest decision.
So she's already done it.
Yes.
And now the question is, does she put it on turbocharge?
Yes. Fire up the engines. This is what she told her friends Victoria and Stassi on their podcast.
I do want them bigger. You heard it here first. Another exclusive.
We've heard this for the past year.
Yeah, I say it every day. I'm like, they need to be bigger and more out there. I want my to walk in before I do.
You're a girl, which is love.
Well, they already walk in before she does, so she just wants
more lead time.
More lead time.
Well, it depends on
she wants them to be more like a herald.
Why? But can I ask why? She looks. I mean, she's stunning.
She looks perfect as is, but the problem is
there is
that
a thing called too big, right?
Yeah, I would say.
So you say.
But here's the problem: is she already revealed exactly what she had done, right? She said she was a 445 cc silicone half under the muscle. So because she revealed that publicly, everybody has that now.
Oh, so now she wants more because everybody else has what she has?
Basically,
wants
she's
to have
average
something
now.
different.
She's just average now.
She's not average now. Does
Timothy have a say in it?
I think Timothy says, look, baby, I think you're beautiful as is, but whatever you want.
Whatever you want, right.
Yeah.
He doesn't have your question is, did this idea come
from him?
purely from her or from him
Not
as
really,
well?
but what if he says, no, too big?
He's not going to say that.
But
I don't think Timothy Chalamet is that guy.
Can a guy say it? Can a guy
It
say
would be a little weird. It would be weird.
It would be weird, and I don't think he doesn't strike me as a guy who would say that.
Then is she serious?
I think she's serious, and I think it's because she wants something a little more than what people already have.
Our chat's asking a pretty valid question about this, but isn't this many procedures dangerous for somebody? Like having
not
it done, then
necessarily.
undone, then done again?
Well, you're supposed to redo a boob jobs expire. You're supposed to redo it every 10 years or so.
But she's like in her 20s still.
Yeah,
so it's like, why do you want to go? No, I'm serious.
That's like a
Why do you want to
lifetime
go
of-
down that road to keep going under the knife and doing that?
Yeah.
I mean, I think Luca's right.
I mean, same with veneers,
The chat's
too.
right. Luke.
No, veneers last.
that-
Well, here's the thing
You
about
have to
veneers.
redo veneers.
Yeah, but not at my age.
One stop.
Hi, I am Jenny from Cleveland, Ohio. I just feel like this, in the eyes of the public, like the Kardashian Jenner crew, they're always going to be wrong. Here's my thing. I just think we shouldn't even be judging her right now. Like, let her just do this. She's a trendsetter. She's already set the tone for like what everybody is doing now. She has access to the best plastic surgeons in the entire world. Look at her mom. Look at the amazing facelift Chris had. Like, let her do it. Let her set the next tone.
I think there's a
and
difference
be gone.
between somebody in their 60s doing a lot and somebody in their 20s doing a lot. I just think there's a difference.
Coming up.
Jake Reiner, son of Rob and Michelle Reiner, brother of Nick Reiner, did his first interview since his parents were killed. And it's an understatement to say what an incredibly difficult place he and his sister Romy are in now.
Romy told me our dad was dead, and then she said, "I can't find mom."
Be right back.
Jake Reiner, son of Rob and Michelle Reiner, brother of Nick Reiner, did his first interview since his parents were killed. And it's an understatement to say what an incredibly difficult place he and his sister Romy are in now, with their brother arrested and accused of murdering their parents. So Jake sat down with KABC here in LA and talked about, not just losing his parents, but how his entire family dynamic has changed now.
Now watch this closely and look at the silence at a point because it means something, and we will tell you what it means after you watch.
I got to be honest. I mean, it's been 8 months. It feels like 8 years at the same time, and it also feels like 8 minutes. Because every moment that I wake up, I'm reminded of my reality, and you're living through that every single day. Romy told me our dad was dead, and then she said, "I can't find mom."
You have described that after what happened, it was losing more than half of your family.
Mm-hmm.
That includes Nick.
Yeah. I mean, he's in jail, so. It's like I physically lost my parents, and then Nick was arrested, and it's like now it's just me and Romy.
Okay, so I know something about this. Alan Jackson is presumably, and it looks like he's going to be his current lawyer, has said he is going to plead not guilty. And the reason is, he says, is that Nick's meds were changed and it made him crazy. Initially, the two kids, the other two kids, were going to help Nick, but as they processed it, they moved away from that. Mm-hmm. And there is not an alliance anymore, we're told, between Nick and the other two siblings, and that they are not necessarily aligned with that defense either, that there is more about Nick over a period of years that is not just it happened on one bad night.
Right. But I thought it was interesting that Jake was, it seemed to me, being very careful. That he Very careful that he didn't want to say.
Right. He didn't want to tip his hand. Yeah.
Right. But also, and didn't want to say that Nick did this, that Nick is, he never said that this is difficult.
Nick essentially is going to admit he did it.
I know, but my point is, he doesn't want to say anything about Nick. I think smartly is realizing the trial is still got to happen. I don't want to be on the record saying anything one way or another about Nick.
I think he's
I want to leave that alone.
I think that's right, but I think he's afraid that if he opens the door, they're going to say, "What do you think about Nick's excuse?" Because I should say that Rob and Michelle Reiner were not just murdered, they were butchered. It was horrendous what happened. And
to think about, by the way, the way he described it, Romy, and we've known this, that she found them, but that she found Rob first, their father, and then actually called and called Jake while she's in that scene.
Looking for her mom.
Looking for,
it's what they've been through is just, it's unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, our chat is pointing out that all the focus has been on Nick, and rightfully so, but they believe not enough people are talking about the other siblings and what they're going through.
Well, they're going through torture.
Absolutely. And I think we will hear some of that when the trial begins.
Yeah.
What this family has gone through.
I think you're right.
Hey, my name is Savannah. I'm from DC. And I think that what's going on with the Renner family is just very sad. I honestly just don't know how you can recover from something like that psychologically. You know, I'm sure that brings up so many mixed feelings for Nick, you know, given the fact that it's his brother, but also the loss of his parents. My heart just goes out to them and sending prayers to their family.
For Jake, I think you meant. Right.
I will say this, that if they are called to the stand to testify, it will not be by the defense. It will be by prosecutors.
Right. Because they know the things that this family's been going through with Nick for years.
Right. America, damn it. Everything's America.
Grab your map. It'll be interesting. I always want to see how quickly they change this on different apps. But yes, President Trump has renamed another body of water, and this one is all about the trade war with Canada. If you live in upstate New York or...
and the guy who runs Ontario, Canada in particular, who...
Yes, so Lake Ontario, as threatened, the president has gone ahead and signed an executive order to rename it Lake America. Now, for all the folks who call it the Gulf of America, I'm sure they will very quickly say, yeah, this is great.
Do you know
Lake
what I want to see?
America.
I want to see what the Associated Press does.
Well,
because remember, they got booted from the White House press room.
Let's see how quickly this executive order is. I'm going to check Apple Map and see what they're saying.
It's like he is praising Kim Jong-un and imposing 50% tariffs on Canada, changing the name of the lake. So our friends are now our enemies, and our enemies are now our friends.
No, but you should know. I don't think that North Korea is our friends, but it is beneficial to have a relation.
South Korea, dude.
Well, a little bit. That I couldn't say I agree with that. No, they're limiting the military operations. There is a worthwhile reason to have a relationship with scary people. You can't just talk to the people you like.
What about friendly people?
Right.
Like
well, they've been a little bit aggressive with us. I mean, Canada relies on America to a incredibly large degree for trade. I mean, they
got aggressive with us after we got aggressive with them.
Sure, and semantics, I say, Charles.
And we rely on them too.
Yeah. Okay.
A lot.
All right. What do you want from me? This is a tough position. I don't know what to say. I'm trying to defend them. No,
or you could just say this is silly. Come on.
It's silly, but I will call it Lake America.
It is. It's not changed yet on Apple Maps. But by the way, if you're going to change Lake Ontario, by the way, we share three of the other Great Lakes. We want to change Lake Erie, Lake Huron,
because those are not
Lake Superior.
Canadian names.
Because yes, they are.
Are they?
Yeah.
Which one's Canadian names?
Listen,
Superior?
Are
they Superior?
Lake Superior is half Canadian. Lake
it?
Huron
No,
Lake
it's
Erie.
not the
The
name.
word superior is not connected to Canada.
Right.
The word Ontario
Right.
is.
We don't care about the
That's
geographic
Hold on.
location. It's the name.
Lake Huron was named for a French-Canadian explorer.
Nobody knows
So
him.
do we want to go ahead and just change that now?
God,
Is that Lake America
man.
2?
That's
What are we going to call it?
That
Let me make a call.
That is a deep cut.
Yeah, that is. How'd you know that?
This is Toby Arissa from New York City. This is just
it's America.
Yeah, you're from America, right?
No, but I'm right up here at where Lake America is at, and it's just a symbolic one to distract from the larger issue at hand. This has nothing to do with the tariff war. And if anything, if you're trying to advance a deal with the Canadians, this is not going to help our relationship with them become any stronger. It's just a way to distract.
The weird thing is, you're saying, and I understand why you're saying this, you're trying to get a better deal with Canada. With Canada.
But you're not going to do it this way.
The deal that we have with Canada, he drew up. President Trump drafted and said it was the best deal ever.
He's pissed off at what Premier Ford said, the Premier of Ontario, about him, because he torched him. And I think that's why he's doing this.
Coming up.
We have said this many times about social media, but this is it for me. I'm done. I might actually have to just get off a couple of platforms because the discourse that's happening over Dolly Parton right now, I don't get it.
Be right back.
TMZ's got every freaking thing. Big celebs, big stories, big events.
Donnell Rawlings took TMZ DC on a city tour.
You know what the irony of this is? A black man takes a white person to the White House.
It's TMZ.
We have said this many times about social media, but this is it for me. I'm done. I might actually have to just get off a couple of platforms because the discourse that's happening over Dolly Parton right now, I don't understand. I don't get it.
Up to this point,
it's
been pretty universal.
Yes.
But
pretty universal that in people lauding her for
philanthropy, her talent, her business acumen.
Right. So just an icon. All the things that go into being an icon. But leave it to social media. There are people now saying, I don't care. Yes, all those things may be true, but it's not enough because she didn't speak out about Gaza or something else about being like a warmonger because she supported the troops.
And that she's a capitalist. No, but that is one of the criticisms.
Yeah. A capitalist who did everything she could to give money to people in need in her hometown, but also everywhere.
Well, with books, we're talking
childhood literacy,
tens of millions of dollars.
300 million books in this library, and so we want to say screw her because she didn't say anything about Gaza. This is, like I said, we always say, I hope, and you say this, and I don't know how true this is all the time, that it's really like 100 people who are constantly posting something, and it feels like it's more than that.
But the other thing too is,
but I don't know in this one. I don't know what the numbers are.
The other thing is that Dolly Parton never ran for political office, and there are a lot of things she didn't comment on. She stayed away from politics. I would guess that Dolly Parton would be appalled at October 7th and appalled at the number of Palestinians who were killed, when they were going after Hamas and killing all these innocent Palestinians. I would guess she probably felt that way, but she didn't express it because
she knew that
wasn't her thing.
Right.
Yeah, because it's inherently negative to address these things, and she's like, I want everything to always be positive. That's kind of what she always did. And to your point, Charles, I saw like a dozen accounts yesterday that I follow reposting this one negative thing about her because it was the one thing they could find.
Right.
This is people, a lot of it's clout chasing. When everybody's saying something positive, you stand out and you get attention for posting something negative.
Well, it's true.
And they did. They all got retweeted.
But the capitalist thing is really interesting because that is something that's going on. That Dolly Parton was touted. One of the, the story about I Will Always Love You, that Elvis wanted half the publishing rights, and she said, no, I'm not interested. And she ended up making way more money with Whitney Houston.
Right. But she invested that back into a black neighborhood.
But that's not what people are angry about. They're angry that she's a capitalist. Listen, Bill Gates has given tons of money too, but they're against Bill Gates because he's a capitalist. Right. And that's the movement right now. And that's where we are in America right now.
But the interesting thing is, everyone is rushing to listen to her catalog. It's insane. Her numbers are incredible. She gained 2 million monthly listeners on Spotify in about 6 hours. Her catalog increased 1,300%. Where should all those royalties go?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, now to her estate.
Right.
And I'm sure they will do what she wanted done with it.
What she would want.
I'm sure she has plans in place for that money. She knows what's being left behind.
Right.
Not just what she had personally, but future earnings.
And it's still not enough.
And our chat's just pointing out that it's crazy that even if a celebrity speaks about politics, they're going to get criticized, but when they don't, they still get criticized. It's just a lose-lose situation.
And I think Dolly would say, you know what? She knows who she is, what matters to her, and that's where her money is going to go. She doesn't care.
Eric and I had a discussion about this, and we said Dolly Parton is the only person who everybody loves. Apparently, we were wrong.
Yeah, you can't say that because somebody will go, not me.
Asia Holiday from Los Angeles, California. I do believe that no matter how much good you do, people will always find something to criticize. She's given 400 million books to children. She's uplifted the Black community. I don't know what more she could have done. I mean, if we look at her life and her legacy, she has been such a giving and kind heart. So I think it is a little bit of clout chasing. I think people want to feel like they're special by hating on such a great and impactful woman. She's incredible. We love Dolly. We will always love Dolly.
Welcome to Lake America.
Yeah.
Coming up.
Drewski decided to drop his latest skit. His skits are often controversial, and this time, I think he's definitely pissed off some NFL players, current and former, and some fans may feel uncomfortable
He's
with
making
this as well.
fun
because-
of a really serious thing.
Be right back.
Welcome back to TMZ Live. We are just a couple of weeks away from the start of the NFL season, regular season. Obviously, the preseason games are already going on. And I think that is why Drewski decided to drop his latest skit. His skits are often, they're always relevant about something going on in the news and frequently controversial, pissing off somebody. And this time, I think he's going to, well, we already know he's definitely pissed off some NFL players, current and former, and some fans may feel uncomfortable
He's
with
making
this as well.
fun of
because
a really serious thing.
CTE is the target of his latest skit.
Second down and 10. From going, well, maybe this guy can do it, to know he can do it. 19 in this. Oh, my goodness. Helmet's out, ball's out, and a penalty flag comes flying in.
Helmet-to-helmet hits are just part of tackling. Just watch the way he goes to the ground. He doesn't move.
Breaking news, this just in. A gold Ferrari is heading southbound on I-85. Former running back Ray Price shows no signs of stopping anytime soon as he leads police on a chase of over 10 miles.
CTE, what? They try to stay on crazy, boy. Tell the boy, go give it.
I just want to talk. I just want to talk, man.
No, get away from my door.
Leo! I swear to God, I just want to talk.
What are you doing?
I guess I'm trying to figure out what's the difference between a comedian talking about something on stage and watching that, because that really bothers me. But sometimes
But a comedian can,
they can get away with it
maybe
better.
it's how long it goes on.
The interesting thing is that this comes off the heels of them coming out with a study, I believe, this week that said 1 in 4 NFL players suffer from CTE.
End up suffering.
I think you're disturbed by this. I mean,
yeah,
you are.
I am.
The thing with Drewski, which is why I think his videos work, is he talks about controversial issues. There are parts of the video that maybe we didn't show the full 3 minutes that are kind of funny. But I think
that part right there is not because if you're a football fan, you've seen that exact
for sure.
It happened to
scene
Tua.
where
No,
there's
for
a
sure,
player
which is very
freezes
scary.
up.
Where he literally did that exactly.
I
And that's a
remember
very
it.
serious injury.
Yeah.
Like people are like,
No,
if he gets hit like that again, he won't play football.
That's what I was thinking of when I saw that.
But I kind of think Drewski does these skits is he talks about these controversial things that may make people uncomfortable, but it gets the discussion going. The NFL tries to
but I don't know that
ignore.
he's trying to get the discussion going.
What do you think he's trying to do? Get views?
Yeah, I mean,
I
I
mean,
don't
it's
think
gone
people are
super
saying,
viral.
"Oh, we got to talk about CTE now." I think it's mocking it.
Yeah, I mean, but
no, what he's mocking is the fact that we all gather around to watch this, and this is what's actually happening to players while they're on the field. And then, I mean, there are certain. It seems like the right
There's definitely
like
going to be
Antonio Brown. Seems like there's a reference
It's kind
there.
of an Antonio Brown reference.
And I don't know. Is he doing this because he wants to put a spotlight on CTE and is actually doing a favor? Is he?
The thing about Drewski is he's always does these controversial videos. The different ones the Erica Kirk, the
preacher,
black churches taking advantage of the people. But he never really goes into depth after of like why he does
But then
them.
if it doesn't
So it does
land,
spark a conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but if it's not landing as we
The
want to
thing
put.
is, they do land. They do land. Like when he did the churches thing, the preachers, he did take off some people, but it was to show a spotlight on mega churches always asking for money. We've seen the pastor with the Louis Vuitton and the Lamborghini who got arrested.
But we've seen this actually play out in public.
Like, I mean, the drive car is a blatant reference reference to Rashee Rice this year, who did that and crashed into somebody and could have killed people in that situation.
Right.
And then Tua Tagovailoa could have died as well in that situation. That happened to him twice.
Right.
So I mean,
the
it's just
chat is
too
saying
real.
that the chat is saying that
He
this kid
mimicked
is
that.
Yeah,
yes,
he
but
mimicked,
he said
direct
the
mimic.
chat says that he's mimicking that in order to get the NFL to stand up and do something about this because they don't talk about CTE enough.
Well, but they just literally did talk about
Well,
there
no,
was
there was
that
a
study was
study
not
done.
done by the
talk
It was an
NFL.
independent
That
study
was not done
done
by the NFL.
by NFL players.
And the
guess-
NFL
I
has a
guess
very
some-
muddy history
maybe.
with CTE.
And I guess some former players have seen this, and they say, like, basically, you wouldn't make fun of someone who has cancer. Well, CTE is a disease that players
take
are
lives.
getting, and it has very real effects.
I will say, in defense of Drewski on that, there is a difference between a disease that invades your body and engaging in an activity
or
that's so
something
dangerous.
that you get by
Yeah, that's
making
true.
a choice to play
That's
the
right.
sport.
That's right.
Hi, my name is Mo from South Carolina, and I respectfully disagree. I think that Drewski is not the one to shy away from controversy. Like, he does these skits all the time. And I think he's bringing awareness to CTE in a way, in a comedic way. It's not funny, but it's causing discourse, and it's causing us to talk about it now.
Yeah, I mean, it does feel like that skit was not done to get laughs. And there isn't really much you would look at that and laugh about.
I don't know. I could go either way in this. I just don't know.
While Hayden Panettiere's mother continues to throw shade and insinuate that Brian Hickerson had something to do with Hayden's death and that the police have not said that, there's no evidence of that, we have found out that there were some issues in the months leading up to Hayden's death. Had nothing to do with Hayden, but everything to do with Brian's behavior. Some behavior that...
Well, this may have to do with Hayden.
Behavior from Brian, at least, that what we know is that it was Brian's behavior that got him in trouble with several bars in the area of Greenville, South Carolina.
So we should say, we've been kind of piecing this together, and Charlie Neff did an interview with Brian 3 months before Hayden's death, where even the prosecutor in his domestic violence case said he seemed completely out of it and that he was on something. And then we found out that he was kicked out of some establishment or near an establishment in West Hollywood.
And there was also Hayden's apartment had basically wanted posters up saying, if you see this man, call the police because there's a stay away order and he's not supposed to be there. So all of that was happening
and
here.
Then, and the overlay to all of this is Hayden's had substance abuse issues, and everybody's wondering now, was this death connected to substance abuse?
Right.
So Brendan makes a call in the area where she died.
Several calls.
Yeah, and we know for a fact that only 2 to 3 months ago, so very close to when she passed away, he had been banned from a Hooters, a Twin Peaks bar, and another, like, more so local dive bar in the Greenville area, like only a few minutes from that Airbnb where she died.
Because?
Because of intoxication. You know, these employees at these bars had issues with him where he'd come in, he was super nice, and then he would get extremely drunk, and they had issues with getting him to leave the property. There was one instance where they told me they actually had to call the police to the Hooters. He didn't get arrested because by the time the police showed up, he was gone, but it got to that extreme where they had to call law enforcement.
So they decided we had to call the police to get him out, but he ended up leaving once they called the police.
Yeah, and
so the coroner is still doing toxicology on Hayden's body, or has done the testing, and it's being analyzed. And the big thing is what was in her system.
Yeah.
And remember, Brian used Narcan on her. And so now everybody's saying exactly what was going on, that he was asleep at around 1 or 2 in the afternoon and she was dead.
And had purchased Narcan.
Right.
Coming up.
There is more drama in the fight over a baby that was born in Texas using surrogate McKenna West. She has now gone to court saying she wants custody, essentially, of this child that was just born.
Be right back.
There is more drama in the fight over a baby that was born in Texas using surrogate McKenna West. She has now gone to court saying she wants custody, essentially, of this child that was just born. The way she describes it in these papers is that the child was born in Texas, which is true because she fled to Texas after the parents said that they wanted to terminate pregnancy at 20 weeks because of a heart defect. And she is saying that because Texas is where the child was born, Texas is the law that should govern, even though the intention under the contract was that the law that would govern is California.
So isn't the first thing she has to do is to somehow make a legal argument to void that contract? Because we were talking about this yesterday, that the biological parents, Nasheen and Omar, they have a contract with her. And that contract states certain things that if the child is born, they are the parents. They get to make the decisions. So if she wants to supersede that, that contract has to go away, right?
You're right, but that's the second point. The first point is Texas needs to establish, according to what she wants, that they have jurisdiction. If they don't have jurisdiction, California law applies. She's saying Texas has jurisdiction because that's where the baby was born. And Texas law should evaluate the contract, not California. And under the contract, it provides for termination of pregnancy. And what she's saying is, therefore, under Texas law, this contract should be void because there is a provision that's against the law in Texas.
I think that's exactly right. She is saying this baby, she came here in time, the baby was born under Texas law, she's the presumptive parent. She was in there parenting the child. What happened was the biological parents invoked the contract, then got an order themselves saying that we are in charge of this child, and she's trying to undo that and say, no, the best interest of this child is that contract is void under Texas law where the baby was born. I'm the parent, appoint me to make the medical decisions and block them from interfering with my parenting.
And the contract has no consequence.
And the contract's void.
And the contract says the child goes to them. If this were decided in California, there'd be no issue. California would say the biological parents have the kid.
It's a hell of an argument, though. She signed the contract making the contract subject to California law.
You literally have to do somersaults and contortions to get to her position.
Can you imagine if you could just move jurisdictions and void a contract?
And all
It's
of a sudden,
insane.
Baby's mine. Baby's mine.
Coming up.
On the surface, this seems like a great decision by Chipotle to hire Cardi B as a spokesperson.
What could go wrong?
Right, because you're gonna get lots of publicity. The timing of said publicity, they might want to discuss with Cardi, who apparently revealed something, a new product, a new menu item, before they were planning to do so.
Girl, we don't lie. What are you doing?
Be right back.
On the surface, this seems like a great decision by Chipotle to hire Cardi B as a spokesperson.
What could go wrong?
Right, because you're gonna get lots of publicity. The timing of said publicity, they might want to discuss with Cardi, who apparently revealed something, a new product, a new menu item, before they were planning to do so.
They got the new chips. They got the lime chili chips. Chipotle was that old word? That's what y'all doing? Aye.
You want us to tell them about the chips?
Girl, we don't lie. What are you doing?
No, that's a problem.
My bad. I was supposed to tell you about the chips. Because the chips come out on Monday. Oops, my bad. Sorry.
Oh my
I'm too
God.
excited.
This is Rosanna Dana. Never mind. I was thinking of that
By
the
the
other
way,
day.
you see right through this, right?
Oh, it's totally planned.
It was completely planned.
Totally
That
planned.
is exactly the way it was supposed
I'm
to
not gonna
happen.
lie.
Totally
It's definitely the way.
planned.
They would never send her the product before.
Dang,
They
I
know
got
she's
got.
a loose cannon.
Oh, I got got.
This was.
Dang.
Hi guys, I'm Katie from Atlanta, and I totally agree with you guys. This was a great marketing strategy, okay? I think she did a great job.
She did do a good job,
sells
but it
it.
was totally staged.
Yes, she totally sold it.
What else do you guys want to talk about?
Hello, I'm Michael from Jersey City. I'm here to discuss Kylie Jenner. I think it's crazy that she wants to alter anything on her body because she literally is the standard of perfection. However, that being said, if she wants to audition for RuPaul's Drag Race, go ahead and get them bigger because she said she wants them to enter the room before she does. I'm like, girl, they already do. Like, how big do you want to go? Because she's a tiny girl.
Let's let her cook. Let's see.
But
Let's see what she comes
It's
up
so
with.
funny he says that because Dolly Parton was used as kind of an inspiration in a lot of the Drag Race shows.
Right.
There you go.
Coming up.
Harry Styles kicked off the start of his Madison Square Garden residency. And on night one, not surprisingly, he was thinking about Dolly Parton, like the rest of us.
Sing it out, man.
Be right back.
Well, Harry Styles kicked off the start of his Madison Square Garden residency. He's going to be doing 30 shows there between over the next 2 months, basically.
God, filling up MSG 30 times. Wow.
Yeah, oh, he can do it. And on night one, not surprisingly, he was thinking about Dolly Parton, like the rest of us.
Each step of the way. Sing it out, New York.
Very moving sing-along. It is, and there were other artists who performed last night, and John Mayer had a concert where he performed I Will Always Love You, just instrumental. It was, so obviously, as you expect, everyone's thinking about Dolly. We did an episode on my podcast. Eric and I have a podcast called Get to the Hook, and it's all about Dolly Parton this week and some really interesting facts about her career, about her music, and there's a chance, well, not a chance, Dolly is definitely going to be on the charts next week.
Oh, she's selling, they're
Yes, because her music
crazy.
is streaming so much now.
Amazing.
She will be in the top 40 next week, at least one song, maybe two, and there's a chance you might see her and Ella Langley bump into each other on the charts. We will explain. Check out the episode wherever you get your podcasts.
See you tomorrow.